everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Allison, and today we are going to be making masculine Christmas cards. These are very easy cards to make using products from Spellbinders and Hurley. Now we are going to be playing with the Mantel Decorations and the Mantel Village die sets, which also come as a bundle, which is great because if you want one of these, you're going to want both of these to play with. So here's the first card we're going to be making today. And I just love this one. And of course, we're going to be starting off with some patterned paper. This is a new paper pack I don't think I've shown you before. This is the Beach Hut paper pack from the Craft Consortium. And so here's the piece that I'll be using. It's a really fun paper pack. And I'm going to be cutting my mantle out of another piece of wood paper. This is the Wood Textures paper pack that I show in my videos all the time. Now I want to fit a lot of stuff on my mantle, and I also want to make a landscape card, so I want a longer mantle, and that means that I'm going to do some partial die cutting. So to do partial die cutting, you don't want to cover the entire die with your top plate. So anything under my top plate is going to cut, and that little part at the end of the mantle, is not going to cut. Okay, so here's the partial die cut. So now I can fit the die back on to the paper, kind of snap the part that's cut into the die. It kind of snaps into place. And right now, I know it's kind of off screen, but I'm taking a landscape A2 sized piece of paper just so I can try to figure out how long I want that mantle. And again, sorry that you can't see what I'm doing, but I finally determined how long I wanted it. And now the part that's not cut, I'm going to put that under the top plate. So that, again, is the only part that's going to cut. I don't want to cut the other end that I've already cut. So let's see what we have. Now, the nice thing about this mantle is it's kind of rough edges because it's a wood mantle. So if you don't line it up perfectly when you're partial die cutting, it's okay. You won't even notice. Now, here's the original mantle length, and here's my longer mantle, and see how everything is going to fit on my longer mantle now. Okay, jumping ahead, I did all these die cuts. Now the deer and the garland are from the Mantel Decorations. The houses and trees, as well as the mantle itself, are from the Mantel Village. Now this die right here cuts the garland. And because I made my mantle longer, the garland doesn't quite fit. So I cut two sets of garland in two different colors, and I'm just going to overlap them to fill the mantle. That was just kind of my solution for what to do about that. I really love these sets. All right, now these holly leaves and berries come from my favorite set, Mr. Figgy Pudding. So there's the pieces that I used. Any chance to use my Figgy Pudding set, I'm going to take it. Now this little bow on the deer comes from another Hurley die set called Playful Penguins. So there's the little die that cuts the bow. And now I backed my houses with some gray paper. And by the way, these houses are white glossy cardstock. I wanted to mimic real life white ceramic, which is what a lot of these mantle decorations are made from. And I actually have almost identical pieces for my own mantle, which is pretty funny. I have houses, I have at least one deer, and they look almost identical to these. Now here's the finished card, and you can see that I added a few more trees to the mantle, and I added a sentiment, which I hot foiled with white foil. This is from the Christmas Sentiments press plate and die set. As you know, I do love to hot foil with my press plates. And I love these sets that come with the matching dies. All right, let's jump into the second card. I love this one too. Now I've already prepared the card base for this card using some gray cardstock and the new Bark 3D embossing folder. I think I've used this I know that I've used this embossing folder in a video before. I'll link to that at the end of this video. And I also embossed the mantle, which I again made longer because this is also going to be a landscape card. So here you can see the longer one that I made and embossed compared to the original actual length of the die cut. Now for this card, I cut the deer from black glossy cardstock and the trees from the same white glossy cardstock that I cut those pieces on the first card. Again, just trying to mimic the kinds of things that you would actually put on your own mantle. Now these trees have a little score line down the middle. You can just leave it or you can gently fold it in order to create a little bit of dimension for your trees. So that's what I'm going to do with some of my trees today. And so now I'm just kind of getting an idea of what I want this mantle to look like. Now let's talk about these cute little banners. These are from the Mantel Decorations set. And they're really fun and unique. So let's take a look at why. All right, so here are the dies. Here's the die that cuts the actual banners. And then this cuts the letters. And the little tiny letters fall out of those banner pieces. So you could use those tiny letters on your banners if you want. But when you hit letters like O, which come in 2 pieces, it can, it's up to you. You can do it. But I'm going to use the white kind of cutout letters. Now what's cool about this is that you can spell Merry Christmas or you can spell Happy Holidays, which I think is very clever. Now, because holidays has less letters than Christmas, they did include an exclamation point to put at the end of holidays. Now the die cuts 1 of each letter, so you do have to do multiple cuts. All right, so let's just start assembling. And obviously in this video, I didn't do a lot of assembly because this is just basic gluing and die cutting. Now, as I'm finishing up the Christmas banner, I need a second S. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the Merry banner before making more cuts. Okay, so here you can see I need another M, I need another S, and 2 more R's. So I'm going to go cut those, and here I am finishing up. I think these banners are just so cute. All right, so I'm just kind of dry fitting them. And I also like the way these banners fit with a longer mantle. And speaking of the mantle, I did take some black ink and just kind of scrape some ink along the raised edges just to give it a little bit of texture, or a little more texture. It already had plenty of texture. Now I put foam tape on the back of the mantle, and I'm using my T-square ruler to make sure that I put it on straight. I don't know what is going on with me right here. All right, now I would be lost without my T-square ruler. That's definitely one of the must-have tools as far as I'm concerned, because you'll see as I glue this on, I'm going to come back in with that T-square ruler just to make sure my banner is on straight. And I'm going to do that by just looking at the top of the M and the top of the Y and making sure those line up. And then when I put the Christmas banner on, I can do the same thing, making sure that the C and the S are nice and level. This T-square ruler is from Simon Says Stamp, and it will be listed below with all the other supplies. All right, so here I'm folding the tree along that middle score line, and I'm just going to add glue down the center of the back. And then I can just simply glue all of my other elements. This is such a simple layout, but I love it. I'm adding the same little bow that I added to the deer on the first card. I just love this little finishing touch. And there we go. There's the card. And I love how the glossy cardstock adds just kind of another component. And of course, that embossed background is so cool. I think both of these cards are just perfect examples of masculine cards. Now, having said that, I don't struggle as much with masculine cards. I feel like anything could really be a masculine card, even cards with flowers. But I do know that many people struggle with coming up with masculine card ideas. So I do hope that these give you some inspiration. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy the video, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Now, if you haven't hit the notifications button, you might want to do that because Saturday I am participating in a video hop and there's going to be a giveaway prize. So again, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the opportunity to win that prize. And I will see you then. Take care. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.